Hi, welcome back to Sugarful Homemade, my podcast where I talk about all the things I've been crafting. I have a little bit of crochet to show today, 2 finished objects, half finished object, lots of WIPS, and some fall knitting plans that I want to talk about. Before we do that, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michaela, and I live in Western North Carolina with my husband and our 3 kids. If you're returning, welcome back. I know it's been a while. A lot has been going on since I have been here, but mainly just summer. Summer's crazy, and we get out of routine. Every day is different, and I just lose track of everything, it feels like. But I am here, and I'm excited to talk about knitting because I am back in full swing because there's a little bit of chill in the air, and I'm ready for fall. Before we get into the knitting content, which will start at this timestamp, I'll kind of catch you guys up on some life stuff. I did say that I was going to do a garden tour. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen because we had like a mini drought, and right when my garden was doing really well, we got no rain for a long time. And my garden is in a place on the property that I can't reach it with like water hoses and stuff, and it is just way too much manual labor to carry watering cans down there, as many as would be needed. So I kind of just let nature do its thing. Some stuff did okay, a lot of stuff died. Also, I kind of burnt myself out with rebuilding and redoing the garden space in the spring, so that by the time keeping up with the plants and everything came around, I was just kind of done. And I had a feeling that would happen, so at least the space is new and fresh for next year. Air conditioner just turned on. I think I'm going to turn that off because it seems to be kind of loud. Okay, so yeah, my garden hasn't done great. I have got quite a few bouquets out of it, which I actually meant to put one over here with me. Well, I don't know where I would put it, but I'll just show it to you guys. I got 1 dahlia, maybe more will pop up, who knows. We've got some yarrow back there. I have had a lot of zinnias and snapdragons. This was my first time doing snapdragons, and they've done really well. And I actually grew a hollyhock. I couldn't believe it. Look how beautiful that is. The colors are amazing. I also had some, I think there's some bugs on it. I also had some gladiolas that did really well once I took care of my mole problem, because moles ate a good chunk of my gladiola bulbs. But in case you're ever in the market, the little stakes you put in the ground that emit this frequency got rid of the moles. So yeah, I'll try to put some videos or pictures at the end of this video of the garden when it was looking good. But if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen them because it's just things that I've posted on my story. So yeah, that's the garden update. Also, elephant in the room. Yes, I got my nose pierced. I know this is not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. It's removable, and I like it for now, so it is what it is. This is definitely an upgrade. When I got it pierced, they had to put this big, it wasn't huge, but not my style, a black ring in it, and it was much bigger, and it just didn't look great, but after a few weeks I was able to change it, and this is what I was going for. So yeah, there's that. And also, since I last talked to you guys, I have taken up running. I feel like who hasn't? If you're up to date on like social media trends and stuff, it seems like everyone is running. I've been working out for a long time, and I decided to try to go for a run, and I realized that my cardio fitness was just garbage. So that just made me want to make it better. So I was like, you know what? Let's sign up for a 5K. Let's challenge I want to challenge myself. It's been a long time since I've challenged myself physically, because like I said, I've been working out for a long time, and I've just kind of been at the same level for a long time. So I signed up for a 5K, started training, immediately hurt myself and landed in physical therapy. Took care of that, had 4 weeks of training before the 5K. It was supposed to be like 7 or 8 weeks, and I did really good. I thought I was gonna die the whole time because right out the gate, I accidentally kept up with others' pace instead of going at my own pace. And after the first mile, I was just wiped out. But I kept going, I pushed, and I actually won 3rd place in my age division, which was so exciting. We actually left the race before it was over because when I finished, I said, let's go eat. I'm starving. You know, I want to sit down. It rained the whole time. The race went on through a storm. So we went to go eat because I told my family, I said, listen, I didn't win any awards. Let's just go eat. It's fine. So as we're sat down eating, I look at the app and it turns out that I won an award. So we walked back over to the race area and I picked up my award, which was, I should have brought it over here, a locally handmade mug, piece of pottery that had the name of the 5K and 3rd place age group winner, something like that. So that was really exciting, and that kind of just sparked more of an interest in running for me because I never thought that I could do that, and I did it. So naturally, I'm starting half marathon training on Monday. And normally I would say that it would take up a lot of my knitting time, but I do all that stuff in the mornings while the kids are still sleeping, and I have to wake up early to do it, so it doesn't take away from my knitting time, which is perfect. So I have 2 hobbies that don't cancel each other out. Also, I told my husband, I apologized to him because I have picked 2 of the most expensive hobbies that you can do. We all know knitting is an expensive hobby if you like yarn, and running has shown to be quite expensive because, like I said, I hurt myself. I need special shoes and it's a whole thing. Anyways, we're 7 minutes in and I'm talking about running. I'm sorry. Let's move on to the crafting, which is what we're here for. I know not a lot of you care about life stuff. That's why I put the timestamp. But I feel like a lot of you have just become my friends, and so I feel like I need to update you guys on my life, and that's been a big part of my life. So anyways, moving on. I have a crochet project to share with you. The lady that I babysit for, I had babysat her kids for 7 years now, 6 years now, all through their baby years, toddler years, until they started kindergarten. They've been here through the summer too, and she has a brother who is expecting a baby boy soon, and him and his wife love to trout fish, and so she asked me, is there any way you could make a baby blanket that like has something to do with fish using trout colors, like rainbow trout? So if you're not familiar with what a rainbow trout looks like, I'll put a picture here. And so I said, well, yeah, of course, I'm sure Ravelry has something. So I got on there and I found this fish blanket pattern. First off, I told her, I said, I can crochet you a blanket, but I will not knit one. That's not happening. Not in the time frame that I was given. So I picked up my crochet needles and I started on it. And this is what I've got so far. You can see the little fish detail with the bubbles. I just finished the 3rd repeat, so there's only 1 more repeat, and it will be another section of the light green and then the dark green, and then it will be complete. This is the, where did my notebook go? I had a notebook with all my notes, and I don't know where it is. I think this is called the Cleo fish blanket. Everything will be in the description as usual. Yeah, it is turning out really cute, I think. I did my math wrong or something wrong. And the first time I was making it, I got to my pink stripe, and I realized I was not halfway through the blanket. And I thought, well, maybe I could just do 2 pink stripes, like pink, tan, and then another pink, and then go into the greens. But it's for a boy, and I didn't want there to be like this big pink focus throughout the blanket. So I didn't have to, they were okay with it, but they're paying me, and so I said, this needs to be exactly what I told them it was gonna be. Let's fix it. So I undid basically the whole thing and restarted. And I'm glad I did, because I think this looks much better. And especially when it's complete, that pink will just be a tiny little pop through the center like it is on a rainbow trout. And the majority of the blanket will be green and tan. So yeah, this is Paint Box Yarns Simply DK, and I don't know the color names because the color names are online, but then when you order them, the ball bands just say numbers. So yeah, if you are curious, if you want to know a certain color, you can Instagram me or leave a comment, and I'll figure out what the color is if you're interested. But they are all Paint Box yarns. This is 100% acrylic. That's just the easiest for babies. I feel like it's the softest. You can just throw it in the washing machine. Yeah. I did go down a hook size to, I think it calls for a 4mm. I didn't have a 4mm, and I am pretty sure that I have a loose crochet gauge. So I just picked up a 3.75mm from my hooks, and I've had no issue. It's been fine. And I feel like the size is just right for a baby blanket, so yeah. That's my first project. And I just realized I forgot to show you guys what I'm wearing. So we'll do that next. This is my Vilma top that I just finished a couple weeks ago, or last week. I talked about this last episode, but I don't think I had done much on it at that point. So I will stand up and show you guys what it looks like in its entirety. So you can see it's got 6 buttons. I'm just wearing it as a tank top right now. I love the hem. And then the back, this is always more difficult than I think it's going to be. It turned out really cute, and I really like it. At first, when I first put it on, even today when I put it on, the shoulders want to stick out. I have a very narrow frame, I guess, but particularly my shoulders are very narrow. And so I have this issue, and I should have known better, because even in the project pages, it does seem to hang off the shoulder, but even more so on me. It seems to have relaxed a little bit now, but when I first put it on, this is cotton yarn, and it was just wanting to like stick out. I don't know, it was sticking out in a way that just didn't flatter my shape at all. But the longer I've had it on, it seems like that cotton is relaxing and it's going with the shape of my shoulders. So I think we're good now. But for a while there, this is the first time I've actually worn it, besides taking pictures for Instagram, because I just felt like it didn't look right. But I think it is working out now. I did also think about possibly washing it and drying it, because it is cotton. And I don't know if cotton yarn is like pre-shrunk. I'm gonna say it probably isn't. So I thought maybe I could just wash it and dry it and it would shrink a little bit, but I don't necessarily want to lose any of the length. So I'm not sure. I think it's working out now though, that everything is relaxing into place on my body. This is the Vilma top by Gregoria Fibers. I did go down, I think it was 2 needle sizes. It was a significant amount, and I knit the size small, I believe. It was the 2nd size. And I think I could have got away with the extra small, especially since my gauge was coming out a little bigger. Even going down 2 sizes, I think I would have been okay with the extra small. But all in all, it turned out okay. I'm happy with it. I think it will be really cute over some long sleeve dresses come fall and winter. So it really is a versatile piece, which is why I chose this, so that I could wear it as a tank top in the summer and transition it to a vest in the fall and winter. Why does everyone need to do yard work when I'm filming? Like the one day that I decide to film, and it sounds like it's right outside the window. I hope it's not a bother, because this is the only time I can film. Did I mention I'm ready for fall? Okay, so that's my Vilma top. So moving on, I have one more finished object, and that is my Midsummer Blossoms socks. These took me way longer than they should have, but they are complete. This one was blocked and this one was not. Can you tell? I'll just show you the blocked one because it's pretty. So this turned out so adorable. I'm obsessed with it. The colors, I love it. It is the perfect neutral sock with just a little touch of feminine lace. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm gonna be really sad when the day comes that these are getting worn out, because I know I'm gonna wear these a ton. They look super cute with my Birkenstocks or just any kind of shoe that that I can wear socks with, and you will see the socks. I don't know, I just think it's adorable, and it'll match pretty much everything because it is pretty neutral. They just turned out so sweet. I love them. This is a West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply, the white, and then this is a yarn from Long Dog Yarns from her Outlander collection. I'm obsessed with this color. I don't remember the name. It was something in the bone, but I'm not sure that she still has that collection out or not. But it is a beautiful color. So I did finally finish those, and I knit those on DPNs, a 2.25 millimeter. Yes. And I think this is my favorite way to knit socks now, because it's just so nice to not have to fool with the magic loop. And it took me a while to really get the hang of it, but I feel like Speedy Gonzalez on these things, because that second sock, I just picked it back up not long ago, and I had to still do the heel and everything, and I feel like I just flew through that sock. So that is my go-to method for socks now. Now, speaking of socks, I have talked about these before, but I'm not sure if I showed. These are the Ruffle Socks by Petite Knit. This is for my sister-in-law. I finally Kitchenered the toe on this one sock so that I can start the second one, because I knit one of my socks, then I knit this one, then I knit my other sock, and then I'm going to go back and do the second sock for this. So this one's finally complete and off the needles, so I can cast on the second one. And yeah, they're really stinking cute. Simple, cute, great pattern. I will say I had to knit the largest size. You don't cast on the same number of stitches you normally would because of the ruffle, but in order to get the 64 stitch foot, I had to knit the largest size, and this is on a 2.75 millimeter because she likes hers not quite as tight as I like mine. So you can see it's a little, it's a little looser, but it honestly knit up really quick because the row gauge was so much wider, longer. I don't know. But I feel like it knit up really quickly. So I just need to get the second one going and get these to her, because these were technically for Christmas last year, and it won't be long until we're at Christmas this year. Next up, I have technically 4 WIPs, and then I want to talk about some fall knitting coming up. So the first WIP is my My Time sweater. I don't remember where I was last time. I haven't done much on this since we last spoke, but I did finally pick up the neckline and do the rib there, and I just bound off with the tubular bind off about 2 hours ago. And I'm honestly super tempted. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tempted to just leave this as a vest to wear it at least once, because it's really cute. And I just love this color, and I would love to wear it before fall gets here, because this is kind of a summery color. Such a pretty color. This was, this is knit with drops. One second, please. cotton merino and kid silk. Not the same color whatsoever, but I actually really love the marling that it gives. But the overall color of this is just perfection. I know it's not like a fall color or even a winter color, but you will find me living in this. When I first showed you guys this sweater, I told you it was inspired by a green sweater I saw on Instagram on somebody's reel, and it had embroidered flowers around it. I came across that reel again, and so I took a screenshot so I could show you guys, and I hope I can find it. If I can, I'll put it here. But that's the sweater that inspired me with this green. Now, I don't know if I will do the flower embroidery or not. We'll see how much I like it when it's done. I think I'm just gonna love it as it is. So, yeah. But I am tempted to wear it as a vest a couple times because these armholes, they don't look messy or anything, you know, because you didn't, we weren't putting any stitches on hold. So, yeah. Tempted to just weave in the ends and wear it like this. I think they're done with yard work. I am using recommended needles for this because I have the same gauge typically as Lily Kate France, so I don't swatch for her patterns just because in the past they've all come out spot on. So that is that whip. The next whip I'll show. These are all things that we've seen a million times, but it's been a while. So yeah. This is my Tilly cardigan. I am hoping to have this finished in the next week or two, which I think is very doable. I have finished the first sleeve, working on the second sleeve, just started decreases, which means I'm around the elbow. So yeah, this is the back of this cardigan. Beautiful. This I started in the spring because this is a very pretty spring color. But I also think that this will work lovely in the winter because it's kind of lavender in a way, like lilac, but it's also a little bit icy blue to me. So I think it'll be perfect. And I love a good cardigan because I love to wear dresses, but in the fall and winter, you know, I need some extra layers. So I'm excited for this. I did modify it. I did not do the sleeves at all like it calls for. I picked up the same amount of stitches, but I didn't start decreasing until I got to the elbow, I want to say, or maybe that's longer, somewhere around the elbow. And then I started a decrease round, and then I did a decrease round every 10 rows. And then at the end, I didn't want a super pronounced balloon sleeve, so I did do a few rounds of knit two together. No, I did knit 4, knit 2 together around that last row before starting the cuff, and then I went into the cuff. So it's a little bit of a balloon sleeve, but it's not as crazy as the pattern. So I'm really happy with the way that came out. And yeah, I'm just completing that on the second sleeve, and then I'll have to do the button band, and then she will be complete. Again, this is on recommended needles, I believe. Right now it's 5. I think this is a 5. Beautiful pattern, very easy to follow. Yeah. The next whip that you have seen before, I think, is my, oh my gosh, what is this called? Woven, the woven shawl. And I have a stitch marker where I was last time. So I've made a decent amount of progress. This is a very slow stitch pattern. This is a linen stitch, but it is worth it because look how beautiful that is. And this is the same color that I used in those socks. And I just think it's gonna be the perfect little accessory for the fall and winter. Honestly, like it'd be super cute just like that. I kind of want to go for that. I really like this pattern because you just knit and knit and knit until you're almost out of yarn, and then you have a few rows at the end. So the size really just depends on how much yardage you have. So I'm just using a single skein minus what I used for those socks, which was maybe 5 grams. So we'll see how big this gets. I actually don't want it super large because I would love for it to just be like I just did, like a little... We just got a new, it's not a grandfather clock, but you know, the old school clocks that chime on the hour. And I love it so much. It brings me so much joy every time I hear it ding. But yeah, I just think it's adorable like this, like a little neckerchief. So I'll go a little bit longer. We'll see when I get tired of knitting it, but I just think it's really cute. And this is a color that the more I put it up to the light, it just doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't look as good on camera as it does in person. It's very pretty. So that is my woven shawl. Slow and steady progress on that. I do have the repeat memorized, which is nice. So if we're like going out and about, this is typically the project that I'll bring because I don't have to look at anything and it's fairly small. Okay, the next WIP you've seen, but it's been a long time. This is from last winter, and I haven't technically picked it back up yet, but as soon as I finish that blue cardigan, this is what is taking priority because I am dying to wear this as soon as it is cold enough. And time flies, so it'll be here before we know it, I'm sure. This is my, I don't even know what this is called. It's been so long. What is this? Sweater number 19 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And it is a all over textured turtleneck. And weirdly smells like insulin. I don't know if you know what insulin smells like. It's a very distinct smell. My brother and sister are both type 1 diabetic, so I was around that smell a lot as a kid. And for some reason, I have just taken this out of storage and that's what it smells like. Anyways, is that not absolutely gorgeous? I feel like I worked on this a long time last year and this is all I got done, which is understandable because it is all over texture. But now that I'm past all the increases, I'm just on the body. I'm hoping that I can finish this before winter. I'll be working on this all fall in hopes that I can wear it this winter because it will just be the ultimate cozy turtleneck. I love turtlenecks, and especially now that my hair is longer. I feel like in the past it's been kind of awkward for me to wear turtlenecks because my hair has always been at the length where it would like touch the turtleneck, but it was always too short to put up unless I had a pixie. But then I don't know, it just felt wrong. But now that my hair is long enough, I can just put all of it up and be in a cozy turtleneck, and I'm just really excited. And this yarn, the yarn with this texture is just, oh my gosh, so squishy. And I don't even know what this yarn is, but I will find out and I will tell you. This is Drops Lima. So wool and alpaca. So that explains why it's so stinking soft. Yeah, it's amazing. I originally wanted to make this like an not oversized, but a long sweater. But I don't know, I'm kind of thinking like just a pants length would be really cute too. And I think that's the way it's written. We'll see. And I did order enough yarn to make it longer, so yeah, we'll see what I end up doing with that. Really, really excited to start working on this again. It's still on the needles, so I don't have to, you know, worry about putting it back on the needles or anything. I just need to figure out where I am in the pattern and I can pick it back up. So that's all the WIPs that I have to show. I do have another WIP in storage that needs to be worked on, and that is my pressed flowers cardigan. And I am finishing that this year. It has been on the needles. Has it been 2 years? Surely not. It's been a long time, and I honestly love it. I don't know why it's taking me so long, but I really want to wear it too, so I need to get that going. Fall is gonna be the season of finishing last year's WIPs, but also I'm very inspired for fall and knitting new things and new patterns, which I have to get my notebook to talk about. I can now see my notebook, and I never brought it over here, so that explains why I couldn't find it. So let me grab that. I'm gonna grab some yarn to show you guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So there's a few things that I really want to knit. We'll see if I get around to them. The ones that I have yarn for already in my stash are the ones that I 100% am going to make. I'm hoping to cast some of these on within the next couple weeks. The first one is the Esther sweater by Petite Knit. I think I talked about this before. I'll put this over here. I found some, I think it's Woolies yarn at a thrift store in just a white, like an off-white color. And I found enough to make a sweater, and so I went on Ravelry, did all the filter things, found that sweater. Perfect. That's what I'm gonna make with that yarn. Really excited to cast that on, and I know that will be the perfect sweater to wear over dresses because it'll be white and it will match everything, and it's adorable. Enough about that. I've talked about it before. But I also have yarn to make the Totally Rad Ribbed Socks by Summer Lee, and I saw this pattern on Those Twins Who Knit, and I'll put a picture of the pattern here. I just love that little stripe at the top. It almost gives it like an academic kind of feel, and I thought in these colors it would just be another perfect sock for fall. So this is Skein Queen in Saffron Spice, and I don't know what this is. I might have actually grabbed the wrong one. Or maybe not, I don't know. No, this is right, because it matches the... Yeah, so anyways, my idea is to do the sock in this color with this color as the stripe. And I think those would be so cute, and I love a good ribbed sock. They're so cozy. So I'm hoping to wind this up and get those cast on soon. I also do need to finish my sister's sock, so we'll see how long that takes. But I love wearing knit socks in the fall and winter, so the more the merrier. And I think these colors are just gorgeous. Now, the next thing I have yarn for, I have not picked out a pattern yet, but I have 3 of these Fiber for the People yarns. This is a sport weight. This is the color Yucca. 70% organic merino, 30% hemp. And so there's 328 yards per skein. I have 3 of them, so I have almost 1,000 yards, and it's just so pretty. Obviously it's brown, but when you get close up, I guess it's that hemp is almost, I can't tell if it's gray or blue, but it just gives a really nice texture to the yarn and a nice marl. So I don't know if I can get a sweater out of that. Surely, like 1,000 yards. But I also am thinking about a vest, like a nice cozy little vest to throw on top of anything, because it's brown, so it would be super neutral. So if you have any recommendations for a sport weight vest or a sport weight sweater or cardigan, a cardigan would also be nice in a neutral like this. I just have to find something that will fit with this yardage. So yeah. Also, I feel like brown, according to Instagram, the trendy color for fall this year is going to be brown. which I feel like brown always works because it's fall. But I really like this color and I want to make something very versatile with it. Now the next few patterns are ones that I don't have yarn for currently, I don't think. But they are just patterns that I saw and I said, oh my gosh, I need to make that. And the first one is the ballerina cardigan by We Love Knitters. I'll put a picture of it here. I just think this is gorgeous. I think what grabbed my attention first was the color, which I'm already knitting a sweater in that color. But just the cardigan itself, I love the little ties. It's so feminine and it just looks like a really light and cozy cardigan. And I think it would be really pretty in, wow, I don't even know. Like a rusty color is kind of what I was feeling, or even like a black. I've never knit with black and I feel like it would be a little daunting and difficult. A nice black basic cardigan. Basic, but with those little ties just to kind of up level it a little bit. I just think it's so cute. That is on my list for this upcoming season. We'll see if I get to that. I do have a lot of yarn in my stash right now. I did have a subscriber send me some yarn, which is always like mind-blowing and so fun. And I want to do another giveaway soon because there's just no way I can knit all of it. So I need to go through and see what I can knit with what I already have. And that leads me to the next pattern that I really want to make is the Poet Scarf by Sari Nordland. I'll put that here. I have this one skein of red yarn that is just so beautiful, like a berry red, but I don't think it's enough yardage. But I know I have something in my stash I can knit this with, and I just think it's the prettiest little scarf or shawl. I'm not really sure what it's called. So that is on my list as well. And then last one is the Fennel Seed Jacket by Florence Miller. This is a cardigan, but it's also, it seems a bit sturdier, which I'm gonna assume is why she's calling it a jacket, which I think I would grab constantly, especially in like the color she has it in, which is like an oatmeal kind of beigey color. I have a cardigan that is no longer really my style, but it's like a big jacket kind of cardigan. It's very long and it's just big and it fits on it over everything. And it's in that same color. And that's what I gravitate to when I need a jacket in the fall and even in the winter, because I'm not a huge like big coat person unless I'm like outside for a long time. So I know that I would get a lot of use out of this, but the one that I have now, it's just from Amazon, and like I said, it's not really my style anymore. I still gravitate towards it because it matches everything and it's very cozy, but I would love to make one myself to be my new staple cardigan jacket. So yeah, I have a lot of plans, very ambitious. I'm always very ambitious with my knitting, but how else could I be? You know, like I am not a monotonous knitter. I would love to be, because I feel like it would do my brain good to not be trying to figure out everything at one time. But I'm also such a, I don't know, a passionate person that if I see something and I love it, I cannot get my brain off of it until I at least get it started. So yeah. I really want to have a cast on party, and maybe I will this weekend, because then we start school next week. I homeschool, so I'll have a second grader, a first grader, and pre-K. And so I might try and get some things cast on so that I'll have some new projects to look forward to in the evening after days of schooling. Those first few weeks are going to be kind of brutal getting back into our routine. Yeah, but I love a good cast on party. What I don't love is having to wind all the yarn for the cast on party, but it's necessary, so I'll do it. Anyways, that's all I have to talk about today. Really, I could go on and on and on, because I have been on Ravelry and I've been seeing all the new patterns and they're just all so beautiful, and so many videos about fall knitting patterns, and I'm just feeling so inspired. I really, really hope that I can stay on track now that we're going to be back into our regular routine. I think I'll do a little better at staying on track with filming and recording. But you guys are always full of grace when I am gone for a long time, so thank you for that. Yeah, that's all I've got. I hope this was inspiring. I hope that you are inspired for fall knitting, or if it's not going to be fall, wherever you are. Regardless, I hope you're inspired in your knitting. So I'm going to go sit maybe with a cup of coffee. I could use a little pick-me-up in the afternoon and see if I can get some knitting done while I edit this video. So until next time, happy knitting!